Yes. So previous class we have seen just some what is what we have seen, like what are our major responsibilities we have discussed as a DBA, right? So as a DBA, we have seen the database and database server maintenance is our job, right? That's why regularly for maintenance purpose, that's why for maintenance purpose here, we have to start with what monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular activity, right? Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job as a DBA. So just remember, like we have to take care that there should be no performance issues, there should be no connectivity issues, there should be no downtime issues. Okay, we have to check that all the backups are working fine or not. We have to take care of security of our databases and servers. We have to work with high availability features, right? So like log shipping, mirroring, always on. We have to work with your migrations and upgradations, performance tuning. In general, we know whenever the user makes some transaction, suppose let's say I will open some website, I will make some transaction, request is submitted to a web server, right, where the website is present, right? From there, request is coming to our SQL server in the backend, which is our production server. So that's why remember on web server, our web application team is working, right? .NET team, Java team, support team, right? Whereas, yeah, here in our SQL server, we are working, here our DBA team is working, right? So that's why we know already we are handling these backend servers we are handling. So as a database administrator. Okay. Yes. Yes. So after that, sir, we have started with SQL Server. Already we know SQL Server is what one of a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. Already we know so many RDBMS products are available in the market, right? SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, MySQL, MariaDB. So many RDBMS products are there in the market. But remember, like SQL Server is today, see the market of SQL Server is growing very fastly. Why? Because as compared with Oracle, its cost is very less. And today, remember from SQL Server 2017, SQL Server 2017 onwards, remember, SQL Server works in any platform now. Okay, it may be Windows platform, Linux platform, any platforms here. And third major benefit, see, first one is what cost is very less. First one, okay. Second one's here like yeah, cost is very less. Second one's here like graphical user interface, right? We can work with easily. Third one's here like now it works in any platform, Windows or Linux or Mac, anything. And fourth advantage is that here Microsoft has their own cloud platform, Microsoft Azure, right? If we are going with Microsoft Azure, again remember its cost is very less now. Its cost is very less now with what? Microsoft Azure. So even like here for small scale applications, to maintain one database, okay, so monthly charges are there $5. $5 here per month in Microsoft Azure, means in cloud platform. That's why we can say indirectly $5 is nothing for the client, right? So monthly means what? No need to purchase SQL Server, no need to purchase servers, networking components, everything. Just host your database with $5 up to 2 GB size. We'll see that. That is like that's why these are the various factors are there. We have to understand. So yeah, why today most of the clients are going with SQL Server. Okay, right, right. So check here, like what we can do with SQL Server. Already we know we can create and manage databases, as well as SQL Server supports here powerful BI features also with IS, RS, AS, right? SQL Server integration services, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server analysis services here. Okay, 4 services. Okay, totally here. That's why in SQL Server we have 4 major components are there in SQL Server. One is your database engine or database server. Okay, so yeah, as a DBA, remember core DBA, our regular job is to work with what? Database server or database engine, our regular job. Then other 3 servers are there, IS, RS, AS. Our MSBI team, Microsoft Business Intelligence teams here, MSBI team will work with these 3 other servers here, IS, RS, and AS. Okay, that's why while installation, we can select actually which server or what features we need to install. Okay, yes, and so like generally we have seen every RDBMS, not only SQL Server, every RDBMS has 2 parts, non-procedural part, which are nothing but SQL commands. Second one is there, here procedural part is there, programming part is there, T-SQL. Once again, remember, don't get any confusion. Okay, so yeah, SQL Server like SQL Server supports here like programming part is there, T-SQL, as well as one more option is there, CLR integration. We'll see later. Once again, remember, like our job is to work with SQL commands only as part of administration. We are not writing, remember, T-SQL programs. Okay, don't get any confusion. Right. So, but just knowledge of, yeah, both is added advantage for us. But already have said as part of our course, SQL basics videos I will provide you, means 3 to 4 hours videos I will provide you, SQL basics, basic commands. Yeah, those things just you can go through one time if you don't have SQL basics knowledge. Okay, yes, yes. Check here again, we have seen SQL Server supports 2 types of working environments, standalone and cluster. We can see by using this simple property we have seen. Check here, once we connect through SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Already we have seen server may be there in the same laptop, same machine, or it may be there somewhere in the network. We can connect and work with the SQL servers here by using SSMS. Okay, that's why we'll connect to this server. Check here, server name is what? Yes, RV1. Okay, 15.0 version, it is 2019 version. We can right click properties, we have seen, we can check is clustered false. It is a standalone environment. Already like in my another server, I have configured cluster also, cluster setup also. Check here, already we know cluster is a group of servers, right? Yeah, here see we need actually Active Directory server is required for us. We'll discuss later. This is server 1 or node 1. This is server 2, node 2. Like this here, by using multiple machines, we can create the cluster setup. So first remember, our Windows team will create Windows cluster. On top of Windows cluster, we'll configure our SQL cluster. So I will show you both actually. So how to configure Windows cluster, how to configure SQL cluster. Okay, so after that here we have one tool is there, Failover Cluster Manager. By using this tool, we can check the cluster information, whether it is working or not. We'll see this later practically. Now we'll have confusion. Suppose let's say by using say SSMS, I will connect to one of my cluster instance. We'll see. For example, here like Metro SQL slash tickets. If I connect to this server, right click, properties, is clustered true, it is saying here, right? It is a clustered instance. Okay, like this here, like we can set up here both standalone environment we can set up as well as cluster environment also we can set up. Okay, that's why both I will show you practically, no need to worry. Okay, this is my local laptop instance. If you see here properties, it is saying is clustered false. Okay, right. So up to here we have discussed here in the previous class. The summary we have seen, there should be no downtime, no security related issues, no data loss. We have to take care as a DBA, no performance issues, no connectivity issues. Installing and configuring SQL Server, already we know installations and configurations are not regular activities. Okay, then patching SQL Server. Patching means remember applying the service packs, hard fixes. Okay, we'll see that one, which is somewhat regular activity. Okay, in production environment, monitoring error logs. Everything said SQL Server will write the errors into error log. Already we know as a DBA, 80-90% activities we are going to schedule, right? Backups are scheduled, log shipping is scheduled, mirroring is scheduled. Means what, tomorrow if backup fail, log shipping fail, mirroring fail, then we have to start troubleshooting, right? Yes. So our job is, remember, troubleshooting. Our job is what? Troubleshooting. That's why remember like how we know why backup fail, why log shipping fail, why mirroring fail, right? That's why first steps here as a DBA, we have to check the error logs. First step is what? Checking the error logs here. We can see exactly what happened in error log. We can see, then depends on that error message, we can plan for troubleshooting, right? Our regular job is troubleshooting. Regularly, we have to work with error logs. Check here. Under management, we have SQL Server logs are there. We can open this current log. We can check for the errors here. It will write like this: error number plus message, error number plus message. Okay, depends on this error number or error message. We can identify what is exact reason why the error is there. Then we can plan for troubleshooting. Okay, right. We'll see that we'll work with error logs in detail. Then we have to see all the scheduled activities are working or not. Generally, remember, we are going to schedule everything by using this SQL Server agent. Under SQL Server agent, we can create the jobs here. Jobs. By using jobs, we can schedule the activities. Okay, so that's why we can see it if you want to schedule backups or replication or log shipping, all those are scheduled here by creating jobs. So that's why in the job activity monitor, we can monitor here whether all the jobs are working fine or not. If any job is failing, we can see what is the reason by using here view history. View history depends on the reason, we can plan for we can troubleshoot why this job is failing. Okay, it will write here very clear message. Depends on that, we can start troubleshooting. Just remember, these are like major activities of a database admin. Major activities of a DBA. Okay, right. Next, like we have different versions are there. Current version is we have seen 15.0 version, 2019 version. 2019 version. So we have so many versions are there. First time here Microsoft has introduced SQL Server with version number 1.0 in the year 1989 here. 1.0 version. So after that we have so many versions were there. Okay, so many versions are there. Okay, so then we have, but remember tomorrow in the organization our latest version is 2019, but tomorrow in the industry, remember, we have to work with different versions. Okay, we have to work with 2014 version. Some clients may be using 2014, 2016, 2017, like this year. Means what, latest version is 2019. It's not meaning that completely we are working with 2019 only. So we are working with old versions also. Understood, right? Why? Because all the clients will not upgrade to latest version. Still they want to continue with what? Old versions. Okay, right. So that's why we have seen after connecting to SQL Server through SSMS, just here we can see the version number 15.0, 14.13. Depends on this number. Immediately we can identify we are working with which version. Or take new query, we can check here by using simple command. Select @ versions here. Always remember, I will show you how to install this SQL Server. Just here, always select the command execute. It is showing here 2019 version. SQL Server 2019 version. Like this, here simple commands are there. 1-2 lines commands we can remember. Okay, if lengthy commands are there, no need to remember. We can store in a file. Okay, so then we can use that. Just copy, paste, and run. I will share you this extra material also as part of our course. So where I have written all the FAQ scenarios plus module-wise extra material is there. You can go through this material. Right now we are in module 1. Module 1. Some extra materials are there. Practice exercises are also there. So you can go through those extra materials, some scripts, basic commands. Okay, some scripts are there. So you can use these scripts, which I am daily working here. Okay, right. So that is like I will share you all these. You can download it from Google Drive. Okay, so you can use it while practicing. Right. Next is SQL Server components. Very important for us. Every RDBMS here, not only SQL Server. Every RDBMS has two parts, or we can say two components. One is what? Server components are there. Second one is workstation components are there. Two types of components, right? One is what? Server component. Server component. Second one is what? Workstation components. Two types of components. So already we have seen just to connect and work with SQL Server, we are using this tool called Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Right. That's why this SSMS comes under workstation component or a tool, right? Through which we are connecting to the server, we are working with the server. Means what? Through SSMS, we can connect to the server which is there in same machine, or we can connect to the server which is there in different machine also through SSMS. Just remember, through this SSMS, we can connect to the server which is there in same machine as well as in different machine also. Different machine also, we have to understand. Okay, right. So that means what? We can connect to the local instance as well as we can connect to remote instance also. Okay, right. Then remember, after connecting, once we select this command, once we click on execute button, right? Immediately SSMS will submit this command to SQL engine in the background. We can say SQL engine, SQL server, or SQL instance, any names here. SQL engine. This SQL engine will process the command, right? Process the command. Then, yeah, the result is submitted back to SSMS. Okay, result is submitted back to SSMS. It is displaying here in the output windows here. Right? That's remember tomorrow if I close this SSMS tool, SQL server is down or SQL server is running. If I close this SSMS, understood right what I'm saying? Yeah, whenever we submit this command to SQL server, once I close this SSMS tool, SQL server is running or SQL server is down. If I close SSMS, Sumit, already we have discussed, right? SQL Server SSMS is what? Just a tool, like a browser, right? Browser means what? You will connect to, connect to the through the browser. Means like you can uh, work with what? Gmail, Hotmail, everything. If you close browser, it's not meaning that server is down, right? Yes, server is running. Other people are also working. Just we are disconnecting. We are disconnecting here. Okay, right. Yes, correct. So that's why remember server is running in the background. Our SQL engine is running. Other people are also working. Okay, just we are disconnecting from the server. If you close SSMS, we are just disconnecting from the server. We have to understand. Clear, right? Yes, other people are also working. But if I stop this SQL server, here see, as part of SQL engine, we have one service is there, main service is there. We'll see again all services. Main service is there, SQL server. Main service is there. If we stop this SQL server service, then it's meaning that server is down. Server is down. Understood, right? Yeah, server is down. That's why remember, like we have to understand here. That's why remember, yeah, yes, SMS is a tool through which we are connecting and working with the server. This server may be there either in the same laptop, either it may be there in different location. we can connect through SSMS, we can start working with. That is the reason, remember, while installing SQL Server, from SQL Server 2016 onwards, remember, while installation, step one is here. First, we have to install database engine first, step one. Once database engine is installed successfully, then second steps here, installing this SSMS. Installing SSMS. Here it is a two-step process. It is a two-step process here. First, we have to install what? Database engine. Second step is what? Installing SSMS. Then we can start practicing in our laptop. Okay, understood, right? But up to SQL Server 2014, both we can install at a time. Up to 2014 SQL Server, both are installed at a time. But from 2016 onwards, Microsoft has separated the installation process. First, we have to install database engine. Once database engine is ready, then I will install SSMS, then connect and start working with it. Okay, right. What I will do, I will show you basic installation. I will show you in today's class. After that, we'll go with the real-time installation. Just to start practicing in your laptop, you can do this basic installation. Check here, very simple steps are there. First, I'm installing database engine. I'm installing here. So very simple steps are there. If you have Windows 10, directly you can install SQL Server in your machine for practice purpose. Check here SQL Server 2019. You can install 2017 also. See here SQL Server 2019. Try SQL Server 2019. Okay. Okay. So where do you want to try it is asking here. You want to install SQL Server in Azure, right? One of a cloud platform, or you want to install SQL Server in on-premises. Means what? In our local servers or in our local machine. Click here, free trial. Okay. Okay. Now, sir, which version you want to install? It is asking, sir. 2019 or 17 or 16 or 14, which version you want to install. And once again, remember, we are getting here SQL Server Evaluation Editions. We are getting here. Evaluation Edition means what? 180 days free edition. Free means what? It has total features of SQL Server. You can practice log shipping, mirroring, always on, clustering, replication, backups, performance tuning, everything we can practice. Okay, that's why tomorrow I will not say that we don't have license. I will not show you clustering. I will not show you always on. You see the video. Okay, that will not be there. All the features we can practice with what? Evaluation Edition. Okay, right. So that's like, yeah. Now, say like I'm going with SQL Server 2019 EXE. EXE, continue. Just put some details, any details. Any details, XYZ also you can type, company name. Not compulsory that you have to go with the same, some details. So any details we can put here. Just I'm using my company details. Yeah, exe is basically to run the setup, executable file for on-premises environment for local installation. Okay. Yes. Continue. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, please check. Click here. It is downloaded successfully. Exe file is downloaded successfully. Click on this file. Okay. Now it is asking, yeah, evaluation edition. Which type of installation you want it is saying. We can download the software here, see freely. Already we have seen, no? Evaluation edition is free for us. Let's say I want to go with basic installation. Accept. See here. Okay. Accept. Default path is there. Here C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Let's we'll continue. Okay. Installs here. Very simple steps are there. First here it is saying downloading the installation package. After that, it starts here installation. This is just once again, remember, just to start practice. This is not for real time. We'll see later again. After discussing some concepts, we'll see custom installation. We'll see how we can do installation in real time later. Okay, right. Downloading was done successfully. Now here installation process is going on. Maybe in my machine already I have installed SQL Server, right? 2-3 times already I have installed previously. That's why it takes less time. But in a fresh machine, it may take some time, 10 to 15 minutes time in a fresh machine. Okay, right. Check here once this installation is completed successfully. Once the installation is completed successfully, next step is what? Next step means database engine is ready. It's meaning that once the installation success or database server or database engine is ready, next we have to download SSMS tool. Okay, we can install. That is a two-step process we have seen. SSMS we are installing as a step one. Then we are installing what? Tool. Sorry, database engine we are installing first. Then tool SSMS. Okay, right. That the installation is going on, no problem. It takes 2-3 minutes time in my machine. So same thing, we can download SSMS also from here. We can install SSMS. Just remember, if your machine has Windows 10, you can install 2019 for practice purpose. But in production servers, we'll see later what are the prerequisites are there. Later we'll see. In general, remember in production servers real time, we can't install in Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. We have to install and maintain in Windows Server operating systems. Windows Server operating systems. Okay, like Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019, like this here, server operating systems. Okay, right, right. Yes. Yeah, check your installation was done successfully. Okay, installation was done successfully. Right. See here, it is showing very clearly instance name. See here, very simple steps are there to start practicing. MS SQL Server 08. See here, instance name. Yeah, my actually have entered in the server system with my name. So it has added my name in administrators list. What features it has installed? SQL Engine 15.0 version, 2019 version, right? Okay, yes, these are like very yeah, simple installation option is there, sir. Very basic installation option is there. Right. Now let's say after that, sir, here option is there. Yes. Check here. If I click on install button, install SSMS, sir, second step, right? Install SSMS. Just it is navigating to Microsoft website. Just here we can download SSMS from here. We can run the setup. Just SSMS installation has 2-3 steps are there. Simple steps are there. So once the SSMS is installed successfully, then we can connect and start working with. Okay, right, right. These are like very simple steps are there. Here installation steps are there. Right, but already in my machine SSMS is there. Just I will say close. Even remember we can connect through command prompt also. We can work from command prompt also temporarily if there is no SSMS. Okay, but it is a lengthy process for us. Every command we have to remember. Lengthy process. Right, just I will say close now. Yes. After that, sir, once this SSMS is downloaded successfully, still it is going on, we can run the setup. Okay, we can run the setup. Just 2-3 steps are there. Same, it will take default path C program files x86 Microsoft SQL Server. Then say next install 2-3 steps. Okay, right, right. So okay, but already in my laptop SSMS is installed. After once the installation is done, you can search here SSMS. We'll get here, see Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, check your server name, browse for more, database engine. Okay, so at the last we can see MS SQL Server 08, right? Just now it was installed successfully. Okay, connected successfully. Check here, no user databases are there, only system databases are there. We'll talk about this. Just remember, in SQL Server, complete metadata is maintained in what? System databases. Okay, complete metadata. Right, right. Let's see how we are installing SQL Server. Very simple steps are there with basic installation. Basic installation. Later, remember, we can create the databases. We can restore the database from our developers team. We can take the database, we can restore, then we can start maintenance activities. Okay, scheduling backups, scheduling log shipping, mirroring, like those operations we can do as a DBA. Okay. Right, right. So that's like basic installation I have shown you. Please try to practice that basic installation so that you can work with the commands. Okay, later I will show you custom installation again. Right. Already I've said whenever you are installing, whenever you are practicing, you can see the video, you can practice easily. Still, if you are getting some problem, so yeah, you can use this. Yeah, WhatsApp number is there with us. So you can use the WhatsApp number. You can start. You can send me the message. Okay. Right. Right. So that's the best two types of components we have seen: workstation components and server components. Under workstation components, we have seen SQL Server Management Studio. Right. Under server components, we have seen services. We'll see one time what are the services are created here. If I go to run services.msc, okay, okay. Yeah, here see, click somewhere, press yes, SQL Server. SQL Server, MS SQL Server 08. See here, this is our main service. SQL Server, MS, see here, our instance name is MS SQL Server 08, right? Yes, with the same name, one service is created here, SQL Server, MS SQL Server 08, which is currently running. Okay, that is the reason we can take new query, we can start working with this server. Check here, if I select execute, working fine. Why? Because remember, in the background, the instance SQL Server service is running. Understood, right? Yes. If I stop this service, for example, right? SQL Server in brackets here, instance name is there very clearly. If I stop this service, remember, now see here, not running. Now we can run these commands or we can't run. Now if I run this command, executed successfully or it throws error. Tarun, Sumit, Venkatesh, Ajay. Yeah, Sumit is saying error. Correct, right? Why? Because in the background SQL Server service is not running. That's remember when already we have seen whenever we type the command, once we click on execute button, yeah, immediately remember, immediately this SQL Server, this SSMS will submit the command to the respective. See here, if I click on executing, it is saying executing query. Actually, it is not executing, it is trying to submit the command to this service, but the service is not running. After some time, it throws error. Just remember, tomorrow if you are trying to log in, if you are trying to log into the server, for example, okay, so if you are unable to log in successfully, if we are unable to connect successfully, first step is here, we have to see whether its service is running or not. SQL Server service is running or not. If it is not running, start the service. Okay, now running. Then we can connect successfully. We can work with successfully. See, that's why we have to understand here. Tomorrow we start the server, stop the server. Okay, means what? We have to stop this service. We have to start this service. Okay, one more main service is it SQL Server Agent. Agent is for what purpose? For automation, right? Just remember, user queries are processed by SQL Server service, main service, but our admin related activities are implemented with the help of agent service. Already we know, right? To schedule anything in SQL Server, we'll create the jobs here, right? So we'll create the job. So yeah, through the job, yeah, we can implement any automation, and these jobs are executed by which service? Agent service. Understood, right? Yes, yes. That's what, but like we have to understand here very clearly, SQL Server service process the user queries, agent is for automation. Automation. Okay, right, right. That's like SQL Server service is a SQL Server agent service is the two main services here as part of our SQL Server. Always we have to take care that our main service must and should be in running mode. This is our agent, MS SQL Server 08. Refresh, already we have started. Here it is saying not started. Refresh one time. We can see running. Okay, right, right. That is like, yeah, SQL Server Management Studio is a tool. SQL Server is our service which process the user queries. Right, right. So next one say like SQL Server, already we know every RDBMS supports what? SQL, which is a structured query language, which was actually developed by IBM initially, but it is a open source language. Okay, yeah. So it is a open source language here. That's why remember any tomorrow, let's say you are going to start one company, you are going to develop some RDBMS product, you can use this SQL. Okay. So non-procedural language means only commands are there here. We can't write the programs. That's why to write programs, every RDBMS has their own products, right? PLSQL is there in Oracle, TSQL is there here in SQL Server. Okay, then common database language supported by every RDBMS case insensitive language, correct, right? It's not case sensitive, means what we can write the SQL commands in any case actually, uppercase, lowercase, any case here. Okay, right. So that is like, yeah. So we have to understand here means whenever we type some command in the as a user through application, it submits the command to SQL Server. SQL Server works with the data present in the database by using that SQL command. The simple SQL Server is different, database is different. SQL Server is a RDBMS product. Database is a collection of data. Okay, generally we know in a database how the data is maintained in the form of rows and columns, right? We can say tables, but remember in database we have logical level is there, which is nothing but basically collection of objects, especially tables, as well as remember in a database we have physical level is there, which is nothing but a collection of files. Both the levels are there. Logically, remember data is stored in the form of what? Tables or objects, whereas physically, yeah, database is there in the form of what? Database data is there in the form of what? Files. Files. That's why we can say a database is logical collection of what? Objects. Physically, it is a collection of what? Files. Okay, right. That's why as a DBA we have to work with files actually, database files regularly as part of database maintenance. We'll see the physical architecture of database, we'll see later, but if you check here, see SP help DB master is one of a predefined database. See here two files are there here. One is data file is there. Second one is log file is there. So two files are there. Data file and log file. Okay. So we'll see later in detail. Just one point, remember, every change whenever the user runs some insert or update or delete, every change is first recorded into log file, transaction log file. After some time, those changes are written permanently into data file. Okay. Every insert, update, deletes are first captured in which file? Log file. After some time, those changes are written permanently into data file. The data file is the location where permanently data is there, but initially changes are written into log file. Once the changes are written into data file, either immediately or after some time, those changes are cleared from the log file. Okay, in log file permanently changes are not there. Initially changes are written into log file, later they are written in permanently into data file. Once the changes are stored permanently into data file, then they are cleared from the log file. We'll see that architecture in detail. Okay, that's why we can understand here, for example, okay, just check here, very simple. Suppose this is our files are there, data file, log files are there, physical level, which consist of what? Files. Okay, whereas logical level is it nothing but RAM. Logical level is basically, remember, buffer cache, which is nothing but RAM. RAM, logical level, nothing but tables or objects, RAM. So now remember, whenever the user is submitting query to SQL Server, this is my SQL engine. SQL engine. Suppose whenever the user is running some command, first here SQL engine will verify whether the data is there or not in buffer cache. Suppose here if the data is there in buffer cache, it will pick the data from buffer cache itself and submit the data to the users. Okay, but remember, first time just now we have started SQL Server, we have restarted SQL Server. In buffer cache there is no data. In that case, remember, first it will search for data in buffer, no data found, then it will go to data file. Okay, from data file it will bring the data into buffer cache first time. After bringing data into buffer cache, then SQL Server will send the data to the users here. Next time onwards, remember, if the same query is submitted next time onwards, directly it will search in buffer. Okay, already data is there. Submit the data to the users here immediately. Means what? No need to go to this data file every time. Why? Because performing read writes on this physical level is a very expensive process. Means what? We need more CPU, more memory. IO is required. That is the reason every RDBMS, remember, not only our SQL Server, every RDBMS supports this logical level, physical level. First time data is taken from physical level into logical level, means buffer area. From there itself, data is displayed. Just remember, first every change, every insert, update, delete are happening in this logical level. Then they are written into physical level permanently. Understood, right? We'll see this architecture again after installation. In second module, I will show you again in detail. Just we have to understand here what is logical level, what is physical level, and we have to observe here any query, it may be select or update or delete, any query, it is working at logical level only. Any query works at logical level only, not at physical level. Okay. Any query works at logical level only, not at physical level. Right. Let's say what I will do, I will conclude the session. We'll continue again the tomorrow's class from here. We have some other concepts are there, like what is instance, what is there in every instance, which features we have to work with regularly as a DBA of every instance. We'll see. Later, we'll discuss here. We'll start again custom installation. I will show you after discussing like 2-3 concepts. Okay, right. Generally, remember before starting installation in real time, we need like installation ticket is required for us. Installation ticket is required. By using that installation ticket, we'll install SQL Server in general. Installation ticket. I will show you installation ticket also. I will show you. Okay, one time. Right. So we'll conclude session. Once again, we have seen from beginning today, just started with SQL Server. What are the major responsibilities we have seen? Two types of components we have seen, workstation components and server components. Then we have seen how to install SQL Server. Yeah, basic installation we have discussed. Okay, right.